Hey guys, what's up? What's good? Coming at y'all with a video of a watch that I've kind of teased in some of the comments. It's a Seiko, and it's a not quite a Grand Seiko, but pretty close. This is the Seiko SLA043. Kind of a reissue of Seiko's original, their classic dive watch, the 62 MAS, and I just wanted to show you this watch. I've had it for a while. I actually traded that SLA055 for this watch as part of a deal, and that kind of worked out for me. You know, I love that 055. Please check out my video of that. Really cool, also a blue themed diver, but this one is kind of more my speed when it comes to Seiko, and it's got a couple of things that some Seikos don't have. For example, it has a signed crown, so that's something that's kind of rare in Seiko, and so that's really nice to see. And it has something else, well, the lack of something, it doesn't have that Prospex X. Opinions are kind of mixed on that. I'm not a big Prospex X kind of guy, but yeah, this is the 043. So like I said, it's the reissue of the 62 MAS. And I say it like that because there's been a lot of different versions of this watch. In fact, too many different versions of this watch. Which brings me to one of my frequent rants about Seiko, which is they make too many different kinds of models. I mean, just arbitrary color schemes and bizarre numbering. It's hard to keep up with those things. And the most idiotic thing is that sometimes the same watch can have two different designation numbers. For example, there's the JDM, or Japanese domestic market designation number. Then there's the global designation number. It's stupid. It makes it really complicated. But listen, that's one of my frequent rants about Seiko. Let's set the time on this one and see what it's all about. So I'm going to just take a look at this whole thing. So it looks like it's about 12:31 on the 19th. So that's just a GMT from your friends in Geneva at Rolex. So let's see here. Screw down crown, good size crown too, by the way, really good size. So let's hand wind the movement. I mean, these are pretty big features for Seiko. Look at that beautiful baby blue, Carolina blue, Tar Heel blue, seconds hand, start to move. It's funny, it's like Tar Heel blue, but it's got like the Duke blue as the dial, for those of you who are basketball fans. And so the date we said was, man, I appreciate that Cyclops, the 19th. All right, so it looks like we're pretty close. Let's see, does it hack? It does hack. So it's hand winding, screw down crown. That is signed with a hacking movement. I mean, you can't ask for a lot more when it comes to Seiko. So the time we said is around, easy to move those hands. You know, this is, I think they're 8L35 movement. It's like, it's not Grand Seiko, but it's like Grand Seiko Light, if that matters, and it does. So that's noon. No, I'm sorry, that's looks like that's midnight. So let's keep going. Really easy to use that crown. Look at that nice thick crown tube. Really secure. Let's see here. So that should be noon and a little bit, almost 12:35. So let's go there. And it's got a quick set date. Perfect. We're in there. So that's set. A couple more winds for good luck, and we'll screw down the crown. No drama. Easy. Nice thick crown. And we know we like thick crown tubes, thick crowns. It just speaks to the quality. The bezel is not ceramic. It is, it's a nice aluminum insert, but really well made. Got good action. Not easy to turn, but easy to grip, unlike a lot of Seiko watches, and it has a really nice sound to it. And this watch is actually pretty faithful, I think, to the original 62 MAS. Oh, that reminds me, I happen to have one of those too. And so I thought this would be a nice video to kind of show you these two watches side by side, kind of like the progenitor, the original, the alpha, and the reissue of the watch. And so this is the original, the El Jefe, the Capo de Capi. This is the Seiko 62 MAS. Crown is just a bi-directional the bezel is bidirectional, kind of press fit. You can see the dial has more of a sort of a metallic silver look about it. Let's unscrew it, but you don't have to. It's not a screw down crown. It doesn't hand wind, so you have to kind of shake this one awake. So you pull it out to the first position. Look at that, listen. Date goes both directions. That's cool. So we said it's the 19th. We'll leave it on the 18th. Pull it out. Seconds hand does not hack. You know, this watch was made in the 1960s. I think started being made around 1965. And this was Seiko's first attempt at like a scuba or a recreational dive watch. And, you know, it's kind of a legendary watch. It has perfect click. And we said it was about, let's see here, a little past 12:35. So we're going to keep going. This has been serviced, of course, at great cost. You know, like if you think Seiko is expensive and if you think Grand Seiko is expensive, let me advise you to stay away from high-end vintage Seiko. I mean, that gets ridiculously expensive. But yeah, you can see the father and the son side by side. The 043 is a little less than 40 millimeters in diameter, and you can see that 62 Moss is about, I would say 38 maybe, maybe a 39 pushing it. Both have 19 millimeter lug widths. Let's look at the back. That's always interesting. So you can see the back, very simple case back on the 62 Moss, and on the 043 you can see it has that fish thing, but it's very similar. You can really see the similarities, and I give Seiko some reluctant credit for for doing a good job in making a faithful reedition of a classic dive watch, their 62 Moss. I'm going to put both these on the wrist. I love these watches. I think they're great. And let's put them both on, and not both on at the same time, although I guess I could. Give me a second. I'll be right back, okay? Hey guys, I'm back. Let's get these things on the wrist and see what they're about. Just going to take the old Batman, the BLNR, off the wrist. Great watch. Everything you've heard is true. Prices and values for these had still a little bit bottomed. They're coming back up. So if you're interested in a GMT, if you're interested in a Batman, if you're interested really in any Rolex, act now, buy now, trade now, because I think prices are going to go up. Anyway, you don't want to hear about this stupid watch. Let's see the two Seikos side by side. And you know, you can see some of the differences right off the bat. Like Seiko uses a proprietary steel, and so you can see that the 043 is this much brighter than the original. And you can see I've got the original in a really cool, really attractive vintage style leather strap. The 043, we'll put that on first. The 043 comes with a huge kind of like ridiculous box, and it's got a couple of straps, which is cool. There's no bracelet option for this, but you can of course buy an aftermarket bracelet for it. I've got it on a very comfortable tropic style rubber strap. And there you can see the 043 on my wrist. I like it, you know what I mean? I really like it. It's easy to read. That makes a big difference for me. You can see that beautiful domed sapphire crown sits just above that bezel. You know, the watch is just simple to wear. It's 200 meters water resistant, which is fine, which is great. And it has a movement, which is, like I said, Grand Seiko Light. It's got about 50 hours power reserve. So, you know, it's got some really nice features. Price-wise, they're kind of expensive, honestly. You know, I mean, I've seen some listed for over $4,000, like $4,500. It seems like $3,500 is a more reasonable price for this watch. You know, it was limited. I say was because it's not made anymore. I think about 1,700 issued worldwide. So yeah, just a really nice watch, you know. And I mean, are there 1,700 people out there that really want this reissue of an old Seiko dive watch? I don't know, I guess so, probably. But you know, if you missed out on this one, I'm sure there's gonna be another special edition Seiko coming out soon. It's just too many special editions, too many stupid colors and just dumb themes that just make no sense, and just way too many different models. And listen guys, the reason I bash Seiko sometimes on this channel is not because I don't like them, it's because I really do like them. All right, let me get this thing off the wrist. It's giving me a rash. Let's get the original on. Kidding guys, kidding. I love the 043, cool watch. I mean, really, really cool watch. It's hard to, and it's one of those things where you have to like see the watches, but just the aura of the original compared to the new shiny sparkly, you know, baby blue seconds hand 043. It's just, there's no, you know what I mean, the acrylic crystal, the old school dial. I mean, just, you can just feel the vibe of this watch, and I like it. You know, I love Seiko. I love Seiko. Honestly, I love Seiko. And they do generally a really good job in terms of, there you go. There's a 62 Mas on wrist. And so they do a really, really good job of just making a really nice watch. I mean, look, listen, this is a quality watch. The 043 is terrific. And I'm sure the next and the next and the next 62 Mas reissue is going to be terrific also. The weight is there. You can see feel the build quality. This one, like I said, it's like a vintage skin diver. And so, you know, it's light. It's very well made, but it's light. But this one is like thick, heavy, and just really well made. So there you see the 62 Mas on my wrist. You know, I mean, there's some watches in my collection that kind of come and go. You know, I mean, for example, that SLA055, cool watch, cool Seiko diver, but you know, I mean, it's great, and I feel thankful that I was able to enjoy it. I feel thankful I was able to show it to y'all, but I also feel thankful that I was able to trade it on for something else. So there's watches that kind of come and go in the collection, but then there's some that are just, you know, like the classics, the originals, the ones that are the, you know, the progenitor, the alphas, and certainly as far as Seiko goes, this is in a handful of legendary watches they make that you can collect. Now, prices for this one, like I said, the 043, I'm looking at, you know, I saw it listed on some sites for like $4,500. Man, that's kind of a lot of money for this watch, I think. I mean, it's a cool watch, but kind of, I don't know. I mean, if you want just like a simple dive watch with 200 meters water resistance, I mean, you can get one for much less than that. But you know, if you like the style, if you're a collector, if you know what Seiko is all about, you know, in some ways that's a bargain. I like it much more at $3,500 than $4,500. Prices on the 62 MAS are kind of all over the place. It really depends on the provenance of the watch. It depends on the condition of the watch. But, you know, they go for around $4,500 also. So, you know, these watches are about the same price. The difference being, that's about the MSRP for this one. I think, honestly, the MSRP for this one was like $5,500. I want to say almost $6,000. That's a lot of money. But, I mean, I bought this 62 MAS. Admittedly, this was maybe 10 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. I paid $800 for it, you know, so I paid $800, paid an extra $500 to have it fully serviced by the premier Seiko, vintage Seiko repair person in the country. And yeah, I mean, so now the watch is worth more than triple that. And therein lies the difference, I think, between these two watches. Even though they are similarly valued, I think, you know, even though they're priced the same, the value is different. I guess I would put it like that. So, I mean, this watch is like a lifer for me. In fact, I don't have just one. I have two of these, and I have a ton of vintage Seiko. And again, that's why I bash Seiko so much on this channel. It's not, don't misunderstand me. It's not because I don't like Seiko. It's because I really like Seiko. But, you know, I guess as I've gotten older, I've gotten grumpier, and then I'm like, oh, I remember the way it used to be. But anyway, like, I'm rambling, guys. I hope you liked the quick look of a great watch. This is the SLA043, a really nice watch. A really nice watch from Seiko. Very well made. you know, not that expensive considering the heritage, considering the considering what the watch represents to Seiko, and for people that are real lovers of the brand, probably a must own. And it's a reissue, of course, of the original, the 62 MAS. Guys, I hope you like this quick, random, tangential video of a watch that I got and a watch that I've had for a really long time. Guys, please let me know if you'd be interested in seeing vintage content. You know, I mean, so many people on YouTube make videos about modern watches, but I don't see a lot about vintage watches, actually. And maybe that would be something y'all would be interested in. I mean, I have a lot of vintage watches too, and like I said, I think that may be something that may be of interest to some of y'all. Anyway, guys, God bless y'all. Good luck. Take care. Hope you're doing well, and I'll talk with y'all soon, okay? Take care.